Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to my game room. Sorry it's been so long since I put out a video. A lot of things have been happening that's been keeping me pretty busy. But I wanted to share something with you guys today that I've been working on for a while, and that's my very own arcade cabinet. Now what spurred me along for this project was I missed playing those classic arcade games that I grew up playing. Ones that would take my quarters over and over and over again. Games like Metal Slug, The Simpsons, even Pac-Man and Galaga. Those were all games that I really enjoyed playing. But where I live, there isn't an arcade. There isn't an opportunity to play those games. And in my game room, there isn't any space for those games. I know a lot of collectors have huge basements filled with cabinets, and I just don't have that space. And it's very expensive. Just to restore those things can cost hundreds of dollars to even thousands of dollars. So I thought this would be the perfect solution for me. So this is powered by a Raspberry Pi 3. So it's using RetroPie as the emulation station. It's got a Sanwa style joystick and buttons. It's pretty generic brand that you would pick up in a kit on eBay. It's got a 22-inch Samsung monitor and using just some basic computer speakers in the back. And I've been really happy with it. I really enjoy jumping back into those games. And this is something that can sit in my game room and I don't have to worry about people playing. My kids come down here, they jump on it whenever they want to, pick a game. And it's really been fun for me to see them play those games as well that I grew up playing. And the best thing for them is it's free. It's not costing me any quarters. So it was definitely a fun project. It took a little bit of time. This is actually a version 2.0. My first one, it just didn't have the look that I wanted, and it didn't have a lot of space for all the electronics that I was putting into it. So this one's just a basic style, but very happy with how it turned out. So let's take a closer look at the games that I have on this cabinet. So I have about 65 games right now on my cabinet. A lot of them are the games that I grew up playing that I love so much, but I also got some great suggestions from people on Twitter as well as YouTube. So if there are any games that I'm missing, please let me know. If there's a game that I need to jump in a little bit more, just put it down in the comments below and I will gladly check it out. So of course it's an arcade cabinet, so you got to have a lot of top-down shooters like 1941 Counterattack or Aero Fighters. A lot of those top-down shooting games, just they had huge bosses, great power-ups, excellent visuals. So those are always fun games to have on a cabinet. I have games like Bucky O'Hare. This game is so fun, and this one definitely took a lot of quarters when I was growing up. I have the NES version of this. You can't really compare them. They're just two different style games, but definitely happy to be able to play this one again. Bucky O'Hare. Here's a classic, Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, a beat 'em up. Now this Double Dragon is the Neo Geo version of Double Dragon. It's not the NES version that we all know. This version is very similar to Street Fighter, where you pick your fighter, you have different power-ups. So it's a little bit different, same name, but a lot of fun. I got games like Frogger, Galaga, and Galaxian. Those are all unique games, but I have some very strange games as well. This is a Japanese game called Go Go Mile Smile. This is a puzzle style of game. Definitely a lot of fun. My wife really enjoys playing this game. If you've never heard of it, you should definitely check it out. It's got some unique gameplay. You would think that initially when you're playing it, it's fairly easy, but as the game progresses, it gets very difficult, and it's a lot of fun. Got a hockey game, Hit the Ice, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, the Last Blade series, Last Blade 1 and 2. These are fantastic games. Again, I'm going to say this a lot, but it's a similar to Street Fighter, so a fighting style game. But visually, it's incredible. It's a beautiful game, especially the second one. I really enjoy the look of that one. Great story. Definitely one worth checking out if you're ever into arcade games. Of course, there's games like Metal Slug 2, 4, and 5, and Metal Slug X. These are all games that I grew up playing, and they're so much fun. The first time I played Metal Slug, it just blew me away with the way it looked and just the way it played. It's a lot of fun. And of course, the classic Miss Pac-Man. Games like Neo Turf Masters. This is a golf game that's really fun to have. This is a very weird game, Ninja Baseball Batman. It's a beat 'em up with baseball players. I don't know, robotic baseball players. It's a very unique game. Just like any of the systems, the NES, the Super Nintendo, they all have those strange games that we can recall. MAME Games and Neo Geo had the same. They had some unique, strange games, but for some reason they really worked. Again, Pac-Man, which is of course a classic. Rage of the Dragons. Shock Troopers, the second one. Those are really fun. Of course, SNK versus Capcom. Those were games that took my quarter one after the other. And what is an arcade cabinet without the classic Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition and then Third Strike? Those are really fun games. My son actually really enjoys playing Third Strike for some reason, and he's fairly decent at it as well. This is one of my favorite top-down shooter games, Strikers 1945. It's just visually an amazing game, plays very well. Definitely a lot of fun. Very difficult. It's hard to believe that these games would just they were made just to take your quarters. So it's nice to have that unlimited continue now, where I can actually play through the games. And then of course Sunset Riders. This is also a Super Nintendo title. Definitely a fun one. Super Sidekicks. This is a soccer game that is really fun on the arcade. And then, of course, Turtles in Time. King of Fighters 95, 99, 2002. Those are always really fun games. And I felt like they always got better and better as the years went on. So those are Neo Geo classics. Games like The Punisher. And this is probably my favorite game on any arcade, and that's The Simpsons. For some reason, this was a game that I grew up playing a lot, and so it's definitely fun to have it and to be able to play it again. Games like Three Wonders, which are really just different style of games. Violent Storm, I just played through this one the other night. It's been a lot of fun. Wild West, Cowboys of Moo Mesa. This was a cartoon that I watched as a kid and really got into, and so definitely happy to have the arcade. In my dad's town that he's living in right now, they have a bowling alley with this arcade game, and it's definitely fun to play it on an actual cabinet, but definitely fun. Just a couple games left here. WWF WrestleFest, you got to have a wrestling style game. And then of course X-Men, which is a beat 'em up style of game. That is a lot of fun. Definitely took my quarters. So overall, really happy to have these games. As you can see, I added some art to them, and as well as some description. I got a few more to do, but overall, again, really happy with how this turned out. And originally this was very intimidating to think about building, but once I got into it, it was really enjoyable. So that's all I had for you guys. Thanks for checking out my arcade cabinet. As always, make sure that you like, comment, subscribe. That helps me out a ton, and I'll catch you guys later. See ya.